Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Code for Giants Cup. Code for Giants Cup Latino America number 5. Your bi-weekly dose of Latin American StarCraft. I'm of course just live VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. And before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Paquito in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Paco Mike for subscribing for 10 months in a row. Thank you. Thank you so much, Paquito. Good to see you as always. And again, great to see another Latin American tournament after quite some time. As I mentioned last week or a couple of days ago even, Code for Giants Cup has recently returned. Did go on a bit of a hiatus, especially after last year, especially after the big Circuito Brasileiro, which was the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. But now we're back. Now we are back. We were live yesterday, of course, with the regular Code for Giants Cup, and now we're live with Code for Giants Cup Latino America as well. This is basically an event that is region locked to Latin American players, and we're able to experience them here and now. Here we go. Again, this did occur over the weekend. We were unable to cover it live at the time as we were otherwise preoccupied with other events. Weekends especially are very, very busy for us, so we are catching up via those replays. And again, we'll hopefully be catching up soon. As I mentioned previously, but February and March was just full of Home Story Cup, Rongi Cup, Lil League Cup as well, Thunderfire. Like, there were just so many tournaments to catch up on. We have since caught up, and now we're just catching up on all the like weeklies and bi-weeklies. So Code for Giants Cup, Wardy TV Mondays, Pegasus Cups, for example, and we're almost there. We're almost fully caught up. RSL, of course, the playoffs do begin this weekend, so we do have to catch up with the RSL. But eventually we'll be caught up with everything. Let's go, puppy, let's go. So yes, here we go. We have our first series of the broadcast. Going to be jumping into our ZvT. Going to be jumping into Erik versus SpeCial. We mentioned this previously here, but of course, Erik, he recently came back to StarCraft. He did take a big break. He was suffering from some wrist pain, some wrist issues, so did take a step away from the game, but recently did return, I want to say a couple of weeks ago. So still only recently returning, so still kind of gaining his footing, and we'll see how he compares to a player of the caliber of SpeCial. Let's go. Let's go. Let's jump on in. Game 1 is going to be on Winter Madness. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Brazilian Zerga player. We have the red Zerga. He's one of our own, baby, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. Beautiful. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the Mexican Terran. It is SpeCial. So we get into our first series of the broadcast, and already we do have a bit of a special opener. Again, SpeCial is known for having a vast array of unique builds and unique styles, typically unique to SpeCial. Something he's very fond of here is going 2 racks, not even 2 racks Reaper, but a racks into factory, into low ground setup, into a faster expansion. Especially on these larger maps, it's kind of what I'm leaning towards here initially. We'll keep an eye on SpeCial to see if he does go into 2 racks Reaper or racks into factory instead. So keep an eye on him. One of the plus sides of this is you're able to wall off very quickly here before expanding and set up your Sim City. One of the downsides, of course, is if you're up against a Roach or Lin, your production is exposed, specifically the racks, the factory, and the starport. As you can see here, there is no second racks. Again, as I mentioned, it should be racks into CC into factory. He might go factory before command center. We'll see kind of what order we go for when it comes to the opener of SpeCial. Meanwhile, across the map, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here by Erik, going into his own economic start. Erik, he's also known for being very chaotic and very creative, I will say, when it comes to his builds of choice, and I don't really know what he's kind of funneling or what he's settling into nowadays. He's very often fond of, say, like 2-base Muta, which is now more viable, 2-base Stormhost or heavy Roach play, typically very like unorthodox, aggressive, weird timings is what we expect out of Erik. Meanwhile, it looks like we have confirmation. It looks like it is going to be the factory before command center. Okay, so that's going to allow for a faster Hellion production. It will be a delayed economy out of SpeCial, and the Overlord should confirm. And again, there's no surprises here. Like, this is a very common build specifically for SpeCial, and Erik does confirm. Meanwhile, early Roach Horn. Ooh, okay, early Roach Horn out of our Zerg player. This Roach Horn was thrown down before the scouts. I'm not too fond of the idea of this. I will see. I mean, I did mention that a Roach All-In can work really well against this, but I would say a 2-base Roach All-In, this feels very early, and we're even going into a fast lair as well. So we'll see how this all does come together for Erik. Meanwhile, the Reaper does break in. Just dancing with the Zerglings. They're looking to get into the mineral line. The Queen has arrived, and the Reaper should be zoned away. Now the question becomes, what are we doing with this lair? And do we scout? The answer is, oh, the Reaper gets in. Yeah, the Reaper does get in. Kaiswell against the Zerglings goes further forward and does get eyes on the fast lair timing. Now with a fast lair, this could be a Link Queen Nidasoul in. We're going to try to get a better scout here, getting behind the mineral line. And can we get in? Oh, and now trading with Lings. Oh, I mean, yeah, there's no queen. Because of the lair, there is no queen in the main base, so we abuse that fact. The drone's going to be going down, and this is getting out of hand. The roaches are revealed. Roaches are revealed. Reapers that go further in, and this is already brutal damage being dealt with catching all those lings with, oh god, no, it's not a full wall. Yeah, no full wall off. Meanwhile, 2 more drones go down in the natural. Can we get 3? Oh, we can. Yeah, 3 drone kills in total here. Nice damage. Meanwhile, it is going to be a 1 base Spire. That's we're on 1 base saturation at this point. So again, very fast mutas. This can be in the back of SpeCial's mind. Remember, he did scout the lair, so in his mind should be thinking like Nidasoul in, muta play, fast like infestation pit, something crazy like that. It might be worth it just sacrifice a Hellion and go further in. He's going for it. He goes for the dive. Yeah, he does barely get into the main base. So with 1 HP, sorry, 2 HP, he does scout the Spire. He knows. He sees, he knows everything. Back at home, he's ready, he's walling up. Cyclone production has begun, and Erik shouldn't achieve too much with these roaches. As Cyclone is out, does focus out 1, 2, 3 roaches, and the Ravager as well. Massive pickoffs. Again, it has plenty of anti-air, can soon start to push across the map, and Erik, he can't afford anything. Like, again, the drone count is just so low. Here comes the push. Let's go. Yeah, here comes the move out. As SpeCial does commit. We have a handful of mutas on the way. And it's going to be a tough hold here for Erik. It's going to be tough. He is supply blocked. Yeah, brutal supply block with the Zerg. Cyclone, the Lachlan is broken. Second Cyclone has arrived. Nice pick up micro. Saves the first Cyclone. Saves 1. Saves the other. Yeah, pulls away. We have a handful of mutas, and so far Erik, he is holding. He is barely holding on here. As we arrive with another medevac. We can just try to fight head on. Yeah, with more Cyclones dropping. Ooh, and how many mutas are going to be going down here? Yeah, losing up to 2. 2 mutas do fall. There's 2 mutas left. Oh, does save one of the Cyclones. No, the lock-on, getting another Mutalisk. SpeCial does boost away. Again, these have been worth it, these trades, I mean. Behind this, making more Cyclones. Viking production has begun. Catching up more roaches. And Erik behind this still on a very low drone count, 37 SCVs. Sorry, 37 drones. Meanwhile, third CC is on the way for SpeCial, building up into a 3-base economy, and there just isn't really much here to harass. We're down to 4 mutas here from Erik. They can try to poke in. I mean, they have to, right? They have to poke into the main base. They have to try to find some economic damage. Thankfully, there is no turrets. Interestingly enough, there is an eBay, but no turrets have been built here, so a bit of an oversight out of SpeCial. Does allow for 3 SCV kills. So we do get some counter damage. You know, Roach speed is on the way. Erik, he is droning up to 2 base saturation. Still is behind economic. Oh no! Does barely put away and does not lose the muta. Bit of a waste of a scan. Erik does pull out. And really we're just worried about the eventual counterattack, especially with mech on the way. Macfield accelerators, second factory, mass cyclone. Mass cyclone is gonna have a field day here against a roach, against roach muta. I mean, both would work here, whether it's bio or just going mass cyclone. Cyclones are coming from behind. Ooh. Catching on the Mutalisk. Here comes a counterattack. Now, how many roaches do we have back into the defense? We have 2, soon to be 11. So 11 roaches, 2 ravagers, 1 upgrades will not factor in. It's going to be a tough hold here at the third. Reinforcements not quite getting caught out. Okay, back against the roaches. Picking off 2 so far. Now 2 roaches do fall. Last one quite connects. Vikings, they could even just land here to fight with the roaches. Now just only where the mute is. Yeah, and the Cyclones, they hold their own. They just hold their own here. They pull the Roach Raptor apart. Down to 3 roaches. Down to 2. 2 roaches left. And again, Erik just doesn't have the economy to sustain these losses. Just doesn't have the economy. It was just a really rough early game. To be scouted, to be seen, so the meter play just wasn't worth it. Hatchery goes down. Does catch a roach at least? Sorry, a tank? No, saves the tank. Tank is saved. Vikings do land. And SpeCial is waddling in. It's waddling into the natural. We can see that Erik, he has been able to build up a decent roach count to defend. But there's no reason for SpeCial to push at this point. Like, the damage has been done. He killed the third. That's all he really wanted. Boost back home. And now he can just macro. He can just macro, build up, claim his third base, work towards a fourth, fully saturate. Fourth CC is already in production. And get further ahead. Do have infestor production here from Erik. I mean, that's a way to punish an over-aggressive Terran. An over-aggressive Terran player. So if SpeCial is overly aggressive with Battle Mech, then a couple of fungals could lock him down, and we could see a better fight from Erik as a result of that. But that's only if SpeCial pushes, and we can see that SpeCial's already switching into tanks. So he's done with Battle Mech. He's done with Battle Mech, building up more tanks. SpeCial. Mr. Erik, time to be baffled. I mean, there was a method behind the madness. Tank Boy is going to be going up. And GG it's all. Yeah, GG it's all. There's no way to break this position, and SpeCial takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SpeCial does take the first game. Again, winding it all back here, we saw an insanely fast lair out of Erik. I mean, if you remember, it was roaches into the fast lair. But again, because everything was so fast, one, it meant that there was no second queen in the main, right? There was no queen because the lair was being built instead. So it meant that it was easier for the Reapers to scout. They go into main base, they confirm the lair, and they also confirm the roach horn, and they also confirmed the spire as well. Like, they scattered everything needed to be seen. So SpeCial was able to react, able to respond, able to get ready back at home, and shut everything down. So it was just a really rough start there for Erik. He was trying to be cheeky, but he was seen at every turn. So we'll see if he does. I mean, he should be mixing up his builds, should be switching things up here, and we'll see if he can get a fast one on a SpeCial. As I mentioned before, I do think that like roach play could have been really strong to punish SpeCial's build, but that would have been like 2 base roach play, and we didn't quite see that here. We saw mutas instead. It got shut down. Let's go. Let's get into our next game. This morning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing the CranKy Ducklings. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Erik. Yes, Erik. And this morning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Mexican Terran, the blue Terran. It is SpeCial. Once again, going for that low ground wall off, going for that Rax into expand or Rax factory expand. Looks like the same build here from SpeCial. And once again, I will reiterate that this build is vulnerable to roach all-ins just because the production is exposed here on the low ground. Last game, we had a fake roach all-in out of Erik going into mutas instead, but the muta switch was scouted, so didn't really come into play. We'll see what Erik goes for this time, if he commits into roaches or if he even just plays standard and plays macro specifically. Standard isn't really the word that I should say with Erik, but whether he gets like a third and drones and saturates. We'll see. Oh. We shall see. As from here, we are just going to be deciding our build. Looks like it is going to be into that factory. So gases have been taken. I say that. I believe previously it was, yeah, factory before second depot. So we might be going for the faster CC. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. There's that factory, so delayed command center. The overload will confirm. So overload does dip in. And does confirm the factory timing. Once again, this time responding with his fast roach horn. It's a 2-minute roach horn here by Erik. Taking a second gas geyser. Well, it's the same build. Yeah, Runsling going for the fast lair. This tells me there's only one queen to defend. This tells me that it's going to be a little bit easier for the Reaper to scouts. We'll see if Erik can deny that scout this time. As the Reaper just has free reign. Yeah, that's good. Zergling's in position. Trying to buy time. Ooh, one Zergling goes down already. Yeah, rough loss there for Erik. Queen pops out. Queen does pop, rotates into the main base. We got double Reaper into the main. Pokes in. And what do we see? Fast lair. Okay, does confirm the lair, does confirm the same build so far. I mean, for he knows, it could be mutas again, it could be more commitment into roaches. One Reaper does get picked off. Okay. The other gets in. Oof, the other does get in. The HUD gets behind the mineral line and confirms there's nothing else here. Or at least he should. Helene is thrown away. Reaper killing another drone. That's 2 drone kills so far. Can we get 3? No! Yeah, 3 drones going to be falling. There we go. Does get the full scout. Does confirm no spire. Now that the Reaper goes down, do we now throw down the spire? Yep. There we go. So this time, Erik waits until the Reaper falls before committing into mutas. So this time the spire is unscouted, but it is more delayed. It is delayed. Roaches are pushing. SpeCial is setting up back at him defensively, getting a second cyclone. And remember, this is a fake out. And due to the cyclones, SpeCial can chase this down. Oh, bold move. He moves out. SpeCial moves out. Erik is supply blocked, as he just lost his scouting overlord. SpeCial he commits, which means there's nothing at home to defend. Remember, because Erik isn't making more roaches, he actually has nothing at home. He has 1 queen. Oh no, he has 1 queen to defend. Erik is across the map, SpeCial busts into the main. There's only drones. There's only drones here. The boys, they have to be pulled. Oh god, the move. Oh no, they're not on a moving. And now they come in for the surround, but so much damage is done. 7 drones do fall, and we get a full scout as well. At the same time, the Ravagers, they get into the natural. Ooh, nice Bile catching out 3 SCVs. Oof. Only the 3 though. Only the 3. The workers, they drill the Ravagers to death. They get a 4th SCV. Meanwhile, 14 drones go down across the map. Critical damage, and Erik, he cannot get into his 2-base muta. He cannot do it. Again, he was trying to be cheeky, trying to get into muta play. This time, SpeCial did punish. Remember, Erik, he had only 1 queen to defend, and he had no defensive units. He was droning. He was droning up. Missed the move out due to the fact that he lost the overlord. And now we're down to 2 roaches, down to 1. Down to 0. We have 2 mutas out, which can also be focused down. Oh god. Critical losses here as we're down to 1 mutalisk. The liberation has arrived. Yeah, you can just fight the mutas, to be honest. Just fight the mutas. GG gets called, and SpeCial will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played, SpeCial. He will claim the series. Again, Erik attempting to go 2-base muta, or like 1-base muta even for game 1. Both games in a row. We saw that SpeCial in game 1 was able to scout, confirm, react, to respond. Here in game 2, we saw SpeCial go for a bit of a risky maneuver by going across the map with his drop. Fun fact, if if Erik was actually going for a Roach Ling all-in and a Roach, yeah, like a Ravager Ling all-in, then he might have been able to kill SpeCial because he did break into the natural regardless. If he had committed a little bit harder, then, I mean, at least he would have been able to defend and attack at the same time. So it was a big gamble, a big risk that SpeCial went for. Luckily enough for SpeCial, it was 2 base meter again. So he was able to punish Erik. There was no units back at home. There was 1 queen to defend. GG. GG all played. 14 drones had fallen. And with that, SpeCial does advance on into the next round. Speaking of next rounds, let's go. Let us go. Up next is going to be SpeCial versus a Master in the semifinals or semifinals here. It's going to be a TVP, and we're jumping into game 1 on 10,000 feet.